Hey there, folks. Welcome to another episode of my little bushcraft adventure. So, today I want to talk about a tool that, to my understanding, is of supreme value to any sort of bushcrafter, hiker, wilderness, woodsman. Uh, and this tool is the hatchet or small axe. Uh, I did a lot of research before committing upon the path that I did. But basically, in that research, I was looking at a range of hatchets, everywhere from the expensive Gransfors Bruks Wildlife hatchet to the Wetterlings to the more affordable options like the Fiskars X7 hatchet. Um, so, in a nutshell, the sort of uh, incentive for me is one of quality at a low cost, right? The Fiskars is a great hatchet, but after trying it out a little bit in my hands, it just felt very hollow, um, and I just didn't like the feel of it. Now, to buy the Gransfors Bruks, I would have to shell out in my part of the country around $130. And I find that perhaps that kind of money is better spent towards going to my child's college fund rather than on a tool for pleasure, for fun. So I sort of went to the route of restoring an old hatchet and trying to make a quality tool out of someone else's garbage, basically. So what I basically did was I found a old hatchet head at a garage sale for $3. It was super rusty and unmarked. And the first thing that I did was to take the head and give it a vinegar bath. That removed most of the rust. Then I polished and reprofiled the cutting edge or the bit by using a mill file first, and then a Lansky's grinding stone, and then finally leather and then paper stropping, a lot of that. And it got to be a pretty sharp edge. Then to give it a sheath, I took some scrap leather, and with the help of my Mora, I made a very sort of primitive sheath out of it, and it fits pretty well. Um, One thing to note about cost: the head is $3, as I mentioned previously. This handle that I put onto it, it's actually a hickory handle with really good grain orientation. I picked it up at a local hardware store for $7. And notice these brass Chicago screws. These are very, very expensive. Like the set of six of them set me back by around $4. So if you consider the cost of everything, this whole thing is just a shade under $15, which is really not a bad deal an axe that feels good in the hand. Is of it's clearly hand forged. The head here, I'll show you guys the head. The head of this hatchet is hand forged, high carbon steel. I actually tried putting my fire steel onto it, and it did throw sparks. I don't know how good or how hard the bit is. I'm gonna take this out for some field testing to see just how durable this edge will be. Now, in terms of my goals, right, this is very much a trial run for me. The hatchet is a very heavy tool. We're talking about a almost 2 pound tool, and it weighs nearly as much as all of my other kit combined so far. So this is still kind of an evaluation tool for me. I want to see, how much effort this hatchet can save me in terms of woodworking, camp chores, and basic bushcrafting tasks, versus the sort of burden of carrying this in my backpack and going everywhere with it. So it is a trial, and for $15 as an investment, it's not so bad. Now, in terms of chores for this thing to do, uh, chopping trees is probably the least on my list of priorities. Fundamentally, I'm looking at this as a splitting tool, as a debarking tool, a delimbing tool, and perhaps as a crude wood carving tool. So because of that, I'll show you guys the reprofile. I reprofiled the edge ever so slightly, ever so slightly to make the cheeks a little bit narrower, to make the cutting angle just a little bit more acute. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you'll continue with me in this wonderful adventure that I'm embarking upon. Thank you.